Welcome to the Jim Florentine Comedy Metal Midgets podcast on riotcast.com. If you have any ideas for the podcast, please send to comedymetalmidgets@gmail.com. And if you see any bad Facebook posts, bad slang words, bad T-shirts, bad baby names, bad license plates, anything you think I can rant on for a podcast, please send all to that email address. It definitely helps the podcast. And if I'm performing in your town, you want to come out and see a show, that would be awesome. Comedy Works in Albany, New York. I'm going to be there January 22nd, 23rd. You know what? I'm just going to give you the towns. If you want to come to a show and look it up, it's 2 seconds on your phone. You go to my website, jimflorentine.com. I'll be in Albany, New York. Second week in February, I'll be in Fort Myers, Florida. Then I'm in the Parks Casino in Ben Salem, PA with Don Jameson. I'm at the Improv in Cleveland, Ohio in February. And I'm in Dubuque, Iowa, Cedar Rapids, Iowa at the end of February. And beginning of March, Point Pleasant, New Jersey at Uncle Vinny's. And then also April 30th, just went on sale, the Colonial Theater in Phoenixville, Pennsylvania. It's where they filmed the Blob movie back in the 50s. I love that movie, and I did the theater before. It's really cool. So, all right. Yeah, all the info's there. I don't want to go through this shit again. I'm bored with it. You're bored with it. We all know. I got to get the plugs out there. You realize it. But I'm not happy about doing it. I'm not a small talk guy. Just, get to the fucking point. You know what I mean? Just, I don't like any of that nonsense. I got no problem with hello, hi, how are you? Hey, getting on a plane. Welcome aboard. Yeah, thanks. Hi. Hope you had a good flight. Thanks. Have a good day. Thanks. I got no problem with that. I'm polite there. But other than that, no small talk. It's unnecessary. It's just people being uncomfortable in their own skin and uncomfortable with silence, so they just feel like they have to blurt shit out. Lemmy just passed away from Motorhead, and I did a podcast on him a couple weeks ago. I guess one of his roadies that worked for Motorhead for like 35 years said, went up there and talked to his memorial, and he said the first time he met Lemmy was just sitting in a room backstage, and he came in, and he said something stupid. He's like, Lemmy, man, weather's pretty nice out there today. And Lemmy just said to him, hey, Dobbs, if you don't have anything interesting to say, just don't say it. And I know it sounds like he could be a dick by saying that, but it's true. You know what I mean? Like, he knows what the weather was out there. Why do you have to walk in a room and say that? It just doesn't mean anything. You guys weren't talking about it before. You weren't interested in it. And all of a sudden, you just blurt that shit out. It's not necessary. I've never been a fan of that stuff. Drives me nuts at a register. Like, when they ask for a club card, or you have your fucking, card, whatever it is, for whatever place you're at. It's like, if you had one, you would have it out. No one ever has gotten reminded that, oh, shit, yeah, you know what? Thanks for bringing that up, that you needed you have your CVS card? Oh, yeah, thanks. It was in my wallet. I totally forgot where I was. I thought I was at the post office with shampoo and conditioner at the counter. If someone doesn't have it out, they don't have one. So that you don't have to ask that question. That's just... Anything else? Will that be all? Like when you go to a convenience store, you put your shit in the counter. Will that be all? Don't answer them. Just don't even answer them on that. And you're not being rude. That's just something stupid to say. Because if somebody wants cigarettes behind the counter, go, yeah, can I get a pack of Marlboro Lights too? Got a couple lottery tickets too. You're not gonna remind them that they smoke. They know they smoke. They fucking huffed and puffed just to get up to the counter by walking from smoking for years. So they know they smoke. They know they need a pack of cigarettes. That's most likely why they're in the store. Will that be all for you today? I don't know. You tell me. Tell me. I'm not sure. Fucking drives me nuts. But if you throw them like for a loop or a curveball, you know, hey, do you have a club card, sir, with us? I go, nah, I don't live around here. You know, meanwhile, it's a chain that's in every fucking state. And they go, oh, okay. And usually they don't know how to react to that, so they won't ask again. Or I just go, do you have a Best Buy? You have a Best Buy rewards card? I go, if I had one, I'd probably have it out. And there's just silence. Now, am I a dick because I said that? I don't think so. Because I know I'm in Best Buy. I got a bunch of shit at the register. And anyone that, you know, uses those reward cards goes there because of that. Goes, hey, I want to build up some points so I can get a fucking, I don't know, whatever. A free iPhone case. Whatever you do with that shit. I don't know, but I don't do that and I don't give a fuck. But if someone doesn't have it out, they don't have it. And that's what gets me to my podcast this week. It's called The Plane Ride. I don't like making small talk on a plane. I'm not interested in what you do for a living. I'm really not. I don't care where you're going. I don't care what you do. I don't care that I know, can you believe the line getting on the plane? I don't care, can you believe we're a half hour late? I already know. I'm aggravated. So are you. Everybody, you can see it on people's faces as they're waiting to board the plane. I sit in my seat, put fucking headphones on, because that's a deterrent right there. Put the noise-canceling headphones on, because I don't want to hear those fucking announcements over and over again. The same ones that you just gave us before we boarded the plane. And now you're telling us again, welcome aboard flight 626 from Newark to Los Angeles. If this isn't your flight, you might want to go off now. Really? Yeah, I know, because they always just let people on. They never check the ticket at the gate. You know, when you're boarding, they don't check, you know, you have a ticket to Atlanta, and then they'll let you on the Los Angeles flight. All right, that's unnecessary. Welcome aboard. It's going to be a pretty full flight, and the overhead compartments, put your one bag up there and the rest under your seat. All right. All right. We get it. And if you're first on the plane, and make that announcement like 3 different times as people are coming on the plane. Just fucking make it before we get on the plane. 2 minutes before we board, have the woman just say it so you don't have to do it 3 fucking times. So I put my noise-canceling headphones on. I don't want to hear that bullshit. You could still hear it, but you drown. I put the iPod on low, put some music on so I could drown all that bullshit out. I don't want to talk to anybody sitting next to me. I don't give a fuck. When I get on a plane, I want to sleep or I want to do some work, and that's it. I'm not there to fucking chit-chat. Because anyone knows that it's talking on a plane, you have to scream, especially when you're up in the air because it's so loud. Everybody else hears your conversation. I'm not interested. I'm really not. So what do you do? Oh, that's interesting. I do marketing for all that over there. Wow, that's great. What about you? Well, I just, I'm a salesman. I sell. That's interesting. No, it's not. No, but neither of you give a fuck. You're just 2 lonely people just making fucking small talk. Sit alone in your own thoughts for a fucking second of your life. You don't give a shit that guy's a salesman and he travels around. You really don't. He's sitting on a plane. He obviously travels, you motherfucker. Nobody cares. Flying's fucking annoying and stressful enough, and then you got some fucking dick that wants to talk to you next. I don't want to say anything to you. Hey, how you doing? Hey, how you doing? Hi. There you go. I love sleeping on a flight. I could get to sleep in 2 seconds. It's fucking beautiful. You get a window seat, you lay against a window, it's perfect. I don't want to be bothered. I don't need fucking water. I don't need to be waited on. I don't like that shit. I'm uncomfortable with that. I'm not spoiled. I don't like being spoiled. I don't like any of that bullshit. But since I fly a lot, sometimes I'll get upgraded to first class. You know, they run out of seats in coach, and then they just start putting, you know, if they got empty seats in first class that didn't sell, they'll start taking people that fly a lot and upgrade them to first, and they'll put people that are flying standby in those coach seats so they can make more money. And they want to fill the first class seats anyway. And if no one's buying them, someone might as well sit there. So that's their reasoning. So, you know, 2 out of 10 flights I'll get bumped up there. And I'm not even a big fan of first class. I mean, it's nice that you got a little extra room, but other than that, you know, you don't get shit. You really don't. The food up there is fucking awful. You know, meanwhile, coach, you got to buy it now. So, I mean, I guess that you get the food free. I don't drink on a flight. I never do. I don't want to drink your fucking wine. It's probably out of a box. It's fucking shit wine. I'm going to have a headache when I land. I don't drink booze on a plane. Very, very rarely do I do that. There's no reason to do it. I don't know. I guess if I'm going on vacation, maybe I will, but I just... It's not my thing. So for me, first class means nothing. Your fucking little shitty salad, your fucking little peanuts, and you want something to drink? You want more wine? You want some bread? No. You come around with your fucking basket of bread. I don't want that shit either. A shrimp salad. It's just, the food is just very mediocre. I eat before I get on the plane. Once in a while, I'll eat their fucking shit they serve, even in first class. Pure garbage. So I get upgraded on this flight to first. And it's just 2 seats. It's me, and I get the window seat, and this guy's got the aisle seat. And I guess he knew who I was. I don't know. Because as soon as I got to the seat, I had to put some bags up top. He goes, oh, you can put it over here. I'll move this out of the way for you. I'm like, okay, thanks. Like, I wasn't a dick at all. I'm like, all right, that's cool. So he moves it out of the way. I put it in. I go, oh, thanks, man. He goes, yeah, no problem. Yeah, no problem. Now I got to get on the phone with my agent about this club that I'm playing. And I'm mentioning people's names, like radio stations' names and stuff like that, this guy's name and all that. So he must have overheard it. I don't like talking on the plane on my phone. I was talking low. I'm not screaming it like some asshole. I'm whispering. I'm like, okay, so where do I got to go? All right, so when I get picked up from the airport, I'm going to go right to the comedy club. That's how I talk. I don't have to scream. I don't have to make a spectacle of myself. Nobody's going to be impressed that I'm on a phone call, that I have a cell phone. Okay, maybe 30 years ago. Wow, that guy's got a cell phone? That's pretty fucking cool. That'd be nice to make a call anywhere. Nobody's impressed anymore. I don't need the attention. I don't want anyone looking at me. And that's anyone that screams in their phone, that's all they're doing. They want everybody to look at them. That's all it is in a nutshell. Look at me. I'm on my phone. I'm doing business. I'm very important. That's all that's about. So I had to take that call, so I'm talking low. He must have overheard the conversation. I put my headphones back on. Now in fucking first class, you get bothered. Would you like some water? Would you want something to drink? You want some? All right. I really feel uncomfortable being spoiled like that. I'm fucking low maintenance. I don't fucking bother anybody. Just leave me the fuck alone. Most of the time when I fly in first class, if it's under like 4 hours and I get upgraded, I don't even get water. I don't want to drink that much on a plane because I'm gonna have to get up and piss. And I hate getting up because I'm always in the aisle in the window seat. Then the guy sitting in the aisle seat's got to get up. It's a whole thing. I could sit on a plane from Newark to L.A. 6 hours and not get up. I do that all the time. Just give me the fucking window. I'm leaning against it. I'm good for fucking 6 hours. I'll piss when I get off the flight. I don't need to be guzzling water. I pace myself. I don't guzzle a gallon of water and then drive from New Jersey into New York City and get stuck at the Lincoln Tunnel for 45 minutes trying to get through there, and I got to piss so bad. I have a feeling, you know what I mean? That's probably not a good idea. And it's the same thing on a plane. I don't fucking guzzle water before I get on a plane. And I barely drink anything when I'm on a plane. When I get off, I'll be okay. I didn't run a marathon. I'm not that fucking thirsty. You want drinks? Drink? You want something to drink? All right. So, you know, if you're in first class before the plane even takes off, you're still on the ground, they come around to ask you if you want drinks while people are still boarding. So I got my headphones on already. I'm minding my own business. I'm fucking setting up shop. And I don't even look at the flight attendants because I don't want to even give my eye contact. They're going to ask me a million questions. Just leave me the fuck alone. All right? I know I'm a grown man. I know if I'm fucking thirsty or not. All right? If I really am dying of thirst, I'll say, hey, can I get some water? I'll ring the fucking button. Go, hey, can I get a glass of water? That's how it should work. You need something, ring the fucking bell. Just a bunch of fucking spoiled brats. I want to be waited on hand and foot. Ugh. So I got my headphones on. The flight isn't even let. And all of a sudden I feel I could see her walking around the flight attendant out of the corner of my eye. The guy taps me on the shoulder. And I take my headphones. I go, what's up? And the flight attendant says, would you like anything to drink? I go, no, I'm good. Oh, okay. You sure? You don't want anything? No, I'm good. And I just give it this look like, you got to be fucking kidding me. You had the guy next to me tap me on the shoulder to ask me if I wanted a drink. Was I salivating at my seat? Was my tongue hanging out of my mouth like a fucking dog that's thirsty? Did you really need to do that? So I'm already aggravated. I'm like, you got to be fucking kidding me. If I was in coach, nobody would bother me. They don't come around for drinks till a fucking hour into the flight. But, you know, since you're in first, they gotta spoil everybody. Oh, we got to, you know, they're in first class, so let's make them feel special. I don't need to feel special. I really don't. So now, 15 minutes later, they come over and they want to take your order for lunch. And I'm like, all right, let me just see what they have. You never know. It might be something decent. So they usually just, you know, go from person to person in first class. Go, lunch today is, you know, a fucking beef stew, or get a chicken thing, or just a vegetable wrap, a veggie wrap. Would you like one of those? And then you can pick one, and then that's it. Sometimes I'll have like a little menu and then you could just order off of that. No problem. So they don't have a menu, so I see her coming around. I'm like, all right, so she gets up to me, and usually they just go, okay, they just go from person to person. Hi, would you like lunch today? Can I tell you what we have? Yeah, sure. And then they tell you, and then you go, yeah, no, or I'll pass, or I'll take that. Okay, fine. Instead, this fucking flight attendant has to do this. I'm in the middle of work, and I got a fucking ton of things I got to do. I got 3 hours in the air to do this shit. It's perfect. Perfect timing for me. I'm in a fucking zone. And I take my headphones off because she's at me. She just finishes with the guy next to me. And she goes, Mr. Florentine, what would you like for lunch? And as soon as she says my name, this motherfucker next to me almost snaps his neck to look over. Oh, my God, because he recognized my last name. And I'm like, fuck, why did you have to say my last name? They never do that. Just say, sir, what would you like? Would you like this? She opens that can of worms. I'm like, yeah, what do you got, the chicken? And yeah, you know what, I'll take the chicken thing, no problem. She goes, okay. Would you like something to drink? Oh, yeah, just water. Water's fine. Ice or no ice? Who gives a fuck? Stop with the ice or no ice, all right? Even if there's ice in it, people that don't like ice, deal with it, all right? Wait for it to melt. Now you got more water in your fucking glass. Fucking spoiled cunts. Ice and no ice. I don't know, whatever. It don't matter. No ice. I don't. It doesn't. If it comes with ice, I'm not going to be mad. If it doesn't come with ice, I'm not going to be mad either. It's no big deal. Holy shit. It's like, I don't know. No ice. Shouldn't have to answer that question. I really shouldn't. It's like the question they ask you when you're at the supermarket when you pay for your stuff. Would you? Or, in a retail store. Would you like the receipt in your hand or in the bag? Would you want the receipt in the bag? Or your hand? I don't know. Is there a third place we could put it? Who gives a fuck where the receipt goes? Well, some people like it in the bag. Okay, really? And some people like it in the hand? What, nobody can fish it out of the fucking bag? If you liked it in your hand and they throw it in the bag, you can't fish it out. You're going to unload that bag anyway when you get home. You're going to take that shit out. And then at the bottom of the bag, there's the receipt. So as soon as she says, all right, I go, yeah, no ice. Okay, fine. Then she moves to the next aisle. The guy goes, excuse me. He goes, I know you're working over there. I had a notebook open, I'm writing and all this shit. I still got the headphones down. He knows he could talk to me because I got my fucking headphones down to answer this lunch menu thing. And he's like, he goes, it's weird. He goes, I know, I hate to bother you. I know you work. I go, nah, it's all right. What's going on? He goes, it's weird. I heard the flight attendant mentioned your last name, and it just reminded me. There was a guy, like years ago, probably like 10, 15 years ago, he used to do these prank phone calls. And his last name was the same name as yours. And his voice almost sounded like you, too. It's really strange. It brought me back to that. I'm like, really? Yeah, that is kind of strange. He goes, yeah. And he's looking at me. He knows who I am. Why did you just say it? He who knew who I was when I was on the phone with my fucking agent. But he has to throw that out there to beat around the bush. I know what he's doing. As soon as he heard my name, I didn't know he knew me when I was talking on the phone. I didn't know that. He didn't play his fucking hand there. He was waiting for me to take those headphones off so he could start in with his bullshit. So instead he does it there. By throwing, some guy years ago, the last name and the voice. And then I go, really? Yeah. And he's just staring at me. I'm just like, all right, let me just get this over. I go, yeah, that was me. He's like, that was you? That was you? I go, yeah, that was me. He goes, wow. I go, dude, I was such a big fan of those calls. They were so funny. I used to hear them all the time, man. I bought your stuff a lot. I'm like, oh, thanks, man. I appreciate it. That's cool. He's like, yeah, I used to do it with some other guy. Now, meanwhile, Don Jameson is on the flight with me. I do the calls with Don Jameson. And he knows he's on the flight, too. So he's like, yeah, you did it with some other guy. I go, yeah. And I didn't even mention his name. And Don was sitting in coach, so he didn't know what was going on. So I'm like, yeah, some other guy, too. So I was like, man, what was that, like 20 years ago? I go, no, it was like 10, 12 years ago. He's like, yeah. And then you worked on a show with the prank calls, right? Or is that some other guy? I can't remember. You know, motherfucker. You know. Like, yeah, it was a show called Crank Yankers. Yeah, that's it. Yeah. You knew. Why are you doing that? Why do people do that? Yeah, is that show still on? No, it's not on. No, it's been off the air for like 8 years now. Oh, man. Okay. Yeah. That was a great show, too. I'm like, yeah, thanks, yeah. Why do people do that? He knew who the fuck I was. I get that all the time. People hear my voice, they go, wait a minute, I know that voice. How do I know you? And I got 2 lines. I go, I work at the Burger King. I work the drive-thru, so maybe you know that. No, seriously, I do. Maybe I gave you some fries. My stock line, I've been using it for fucking 20 years. Either that one, or when they go with the voice, I go, yeah, I'm a pilot. I'm a pilot for JetBlue. And they're like, no. I go, yeah, that's probably how you know my voice. He goes, no, you're a comedian, or you work on that metal show. Why did you have to say, how do I know your voice? You knew who I was. When I said I was a pilot for JetBlue, then all of a sudden you realized I work on a TV show that you watch all the time when you go, dude, I've never missed an episode. I love that show. When are you starting a new season? You know what I mean? So you know. I don't understand why people do that. Do people go up to De Niro? Like with this guy, if De Niro was sitting next to him, he goes, hey, man, I heard your last name. It's weird because there was a guy with the same last name that played like a crazy cab driver years ago in one of his early movies. Imagine if he did that to De Niro. Yeah, it was me, a taxi driver. Yeah, oh, man. Holy shit. Why? Why can't you just say, hey, man, I'm a big fan or whatever, instead of just going like that? I don't understand why you have to go. What point? I get that all the time with the show when I do stand-up shows. A lot of guys bring their wives to the show because they're fans of that metal show and they like heavy metal, and the wives usually don't. And they'll bring them to my stand-up shows. And after a show, if I'm selling merchandise or whatever, if I run into them, they're like, I had no idea who you are. My husband's a big fan. I don't know who you are. I never heard of you. Why? Okay, yeah, no problem. No, seriously, I never heard of you until my husband started watching your show. Okay, well, what do you want me to do? You want me to beg and say, and you want me to just go, well, how come you never heard of me? You never heard me on here, or you never saw this show? It's a little passive-aggressive move that people do. And a lot of the guys' wives, because what happens is the guy is watching that metal show over and over again. If you like hard rock and metal, you're watching it. You'll watch repeats. Guys tell me they watched it 10 times in a row. The wife's like, oh, my God, that's all it's on. He watches it every Saturday night. He DVRs it. He watches it again, and he repeats. So I hear that from women. So what's going on in that marriage is they're not paying attention to their wives when they're watching that. They cannot connect on that show because the wife doesn't like fucking, if we have Don Dokken on. But he likes it. And I get it. If she doesn't like it, why would she watch it? You know what I mean? Like, I wouldn't watch The Voice because some chick I'm dating likes that show. I got no interest in it whatsoever. So I'm not just going to watch it just because she watches it. So I understand why the wife doesn't watch our show if she's not into hard rock or metal. So he spends a lot of time watching our show. It takes a time away from them. She's kind of envious that he can fucking sit there and enjoy that. But, he can't enjoy one of the shows that she likes to watch. So there's barely anything they can watch together. So since she comes to my show, he drags her to my show. And then she has to meet me in person and see me do stand-up. And now, and he's like, oh, man, he's funny or whatever the fuck goes on. And now she's even more envious. And then she fucking takes it out on me when I meet her by saying, yeah, I had no idea who you were. My husband's a fan. Okay. And I'm always nice about it. I'm like, yeah, no problem. I understand. She goes, I don't like heavy metal. I don't like that music. My husband loves it. I'm like, yeah, look, it's not for everyone. I totally understand. You know what I mean? It's all good. I try to be nice. That's my lines back. And sometimes they just keep going and go, yeah, I just, that's not me. I don't really even like stand-up comedy. My husband really wanted to come. He's like, look, I got tickets. Please come with me. I don't even go to stand-up. All right. What do you want me to do? What the fuck do you want me to do? Holy shit. I know exactly what they're doing there, and I give them 2 times with, yeah, no problem. And then it'll turn nasty if they keep doing it. This woman did it a couple months ago at a show. She comes over by the merchandise table after the show. I guess the husband went to go to the bathroom after the show, and she's standing there giving me, I never heard of you. My husband's a fan of yours. I'm like, yeah, okay, yeah. Same bullshit. And now she's just standing there. She's aggravated. Who knows why? Maybe he was laughing at shit that hit too close to home. She felt uncomfortable. I don't know. I don't know what the fuck was going on. Maybe they fought on the way there. You know, maybe she wanted to do something else and he dragged her to my show. So now she's just, and she's standing by the merchandise table and she's like, yeah, I didn't know who you were. I'm like, yeah, don't worry about it. Yeah, it's all good. Seriously, I just, I'm not a fan of that music and I don't really like standing. Okay, all right, that's cool. And I'm just standing there and she's not leaving. I'm like, ugh, all right, just go, all right? I know what you're doing, go. Now the show's letting out. There's another line of people coming in for the second show. They're lined up right there. So then she's like, I don't know, I never heard of you. I go, all right, what do you want me to do? Then I just turn to her, I go, okay, what do you want me to do? I'm sorry you never heard of me. I don't know what you want me to tell you. You know what I mean? You came to the show. I hope you had a good time. I don't know what else you want me to do. And she's just standing there because she needs attention from me. And she's annoyed. Her husband's not back. And then she goes, you know what? Because she got annoyed. I go, what do you want me to do? I don't know what you want me to do. So then the other comic that opened for me, Sean, my buddy Sean O'Brien, he's standing at the bar, and he can verify this if anyone knows Sean. So he's standing at the bar like 15 feet away, just standing there. And she goes, you know what? He was funnier than you. She points at him. Because now she's not getting the reaction from me. I don't know what the fucking kind of reaction she wanted from me. So now she goes, you know what? He was funnier than you. So now I'm in full asshole mode. So I go, well, who? Who was funnier than me? She goes, him, right there. Now he's the only one standing there. There's nobody near him. And I go, she goes, right there. I go, who? She goes, right there. That guy right there in the button-down shirt. I go, who's that? She goes, he was the other comedian. I go, who? She goes, what, you don't know that? I go, no, I don't know. That guy. She goes, that guy right there. I go, which guy? It's the guy with the button down. I go, oh, that guy? She goes, you didn't know he was a comedian. Bullshit. I go, no, I didn't. I just walked in the room when I went on stage. He was the other comic? She goes, yeah, and he was funnier than you. So now I know what she's trying to do. She didn't get the reaction, so then she goes, okay, now I'm going to try to make him feel bad. So I go, okay, motherfucker, it's on. So now people are walking out of the room, coming out of the comedy show. So as they're walking by, oh, really? I go, yeah, well, you see this woman right here? And she turned around. I go, she's better looking than you. I go, you see, and that people are just filing by. It was the perfect timing for it. I go, and I'm pointing her. You see this woman right here? She's better looking than you, too. You see that one? She's better looking than you. She goes, yeah, well, I'm 42 years old, of course. I go, and then there was some woman online that was probably 55. I go, look, you see that woman standing right there? She turned around. I go, she's over 42 years. She's probably 55. She's even better looking than you. I go, look at this one coming. She's better. I go, you know what? As a matter of fact, I go, you're the ugliest woman here tonight. You are the ugliest woman here tonight. You know what? I'm not taking your shit. You want to stand there and fucking do your passive-aggressive bullshit, and then you go to, he's funnier than you, which Sean is a fucking great comic. You know what I mean? It wasn't even about that. And pull that bullshit, then I'm going for the juggler. So then the husband walks out. He goes, what's going on? She goes, let's get out. He's a fucking asshole. And the husband's like, what's going on, dude? I go, I don't know. Ask your wife, man. Go ask her. And they just walked away. I didn't see her after that. It was beautiful. It was perfect timing. She's better looking than you. You know what? Look at this one. She's better looking than you, too. You know what? As a matter of fact, you're the ugliest woman here tonight. Because she's basically telling me that I'm a shitty comic. Okay, so you're going to attack me, so then I'm going to attack you. Yeah, really? All right, well, you're ugly. There you go. That woman's better looking than you. Sean's a better comic than me? Okay, fine, but that woman's better looking than you. And that woman's better looking than you, and that woman's better looking than you. So don't call me an asshole when you started this shit. And my friend Sean comes over late. He goes, what were you pointing? What was going on there? I saw you pointing and pointing. And I told him it was fucking beautiful. It was one of my best moments. Because I gave the woman 3 times to fucking try to, do her little bullshit with me. And then, okay, fine. It's on, motherfucker. So this guy pulls that bullshit. And I'm just like, all right, let me just deal with this. And I'm like, yeah. And I answered a few questions. He's like, I'm sorry, man. I know you're working. I know you got to go back to work. I'm like, yeah, thanks, man. Yeah, no problem. So I put the headphones back on. I start working again. 10 minutes later, the food comes. I get the food. I still got the headphones on. I'm like, I got to block this guy out. He's going to fucking, I know he's going to want to talk the rest of the flight. So I'm eating my food. I got the water with no ice. I finished the food. I'm working again, minding my own business with the headphones on. And this motherfucker and the flight attendant, he taps me on the shoulder again. I'm not even looking, and I have to take I look up, I go, what? And she's standing there. She goes, I'm sorry, sir. Was that the right order for the water? What, ice or no ice, did you say? Are you fucking kidding me? I'm already 3/4 of the way through the water. I didn't complain. I didn't fucking say anything. And you got to fucking bother me and have this guy tap me on the shoulder to ask me if that was the right water, with ice or without? And I'm like, what? And she goes, I just want to make sure did you order it with ice or without? I go, I don't know, without. She goes, oh, okay, I was just checking. Okay. You need anything else? No. I'm good. So I put my headphones back on, and the guy was like, I see him looking like he wants to talk to me, and he's like, fuck. I had a little window there, and I couldn't do it. So then he has, they give you a little fucking bowl of nuts, like peanuts. And he knocked them over, and there was 2 left. I don't know if he did it on purpose or not, because I wasn't really watching. And one of them came onto my seat. One peanut fell onto my seat, and he's making a big, he just spilled fucking anthrax. He's like, oh, whoa, dude, I'm sorry. I'm like, what? Now I take the headphones off. I go, what? He goes, I spilled my nuts over there. They landed on your seat. I'm so sorry, man. They're all over your pants. Oh, man, I don't want to mess up your pants. I'm wearing fucking jeans. I'm not wearing fucking slacks. All right, I'm not wearing my tuxedo to my wedding. How is a peanut going to fucking mess up your pants? I'm like, no, it's fine. He goes, no. He's looking in the crack by my seat. Let me, where is it? I don't want to mess up your pants. I go, dude, it's fine. It was a peanut. It's okay. Don't worry about it. He's like, man, I'm really, really sorry, man. I'm really sorry. I can't believe that they fell over. Did you find it? I go, it's all right. I don't know where it went. It doesn't matter. And he's like, oh, man. And then now the flight attendant comes over. She takes my plate, my empty plate. She takes the water. You want any more water? No, I'm good. So now he goes, I know you got to go back to work, and I hate to bother you again. I just wanted to say something to you. I said, okay. He goes, you gave me so much humor over the years, and I really appreciate it. I feel like I got to give you some humor back. I owe you some humor back. I'm like, huh? I go, what do you mean? He goes, no, I feel like I owe you because you've given me so much over the years. And I'm like, all right, I don't know. I'm not exactly sure what you're saying. He goes, I just want to say that I'm sorry my nuts were on your lap. I think that was about the pause I gave him and was just staring at him. And he has this grin on his face like he's fucking from ear to ear. Like he thinks it's the best joke in the world. And I go, no, what? I don't know what. He goes, no, you get it? I'm sorry that my nuts were in your lap. I'm like, oh, what do you mean? But you're saying because the peanut fell on the seat. Yeah. That I just felt like I had to give you a joke. Just because you've given me so much over the years. I'm like, okay. Now I get it. Okay, yeah, the peanut. Okay, right. Yeah, all right, cool. Yeah, I don't know. I'm sorry. I don't know, maybe, I just, I don't know. It was just that's never happened before where I'd spill peanuts and then I'm sitting next to you. It's kind of weird. I'm like, yeah, don't worry about it. It's all good, dude. No problem. Then I put my headphones back on. I'm like, holy shit. I got another fucking hour and 45 minutes next to this motherfucker. You gotta be kidding me. Between a flight attendant and him, I'm like, I'm going out of my mind. I'm like, I'm fucking trapped. Because this wouldn't happen in coach. Because I keep my headphones on, they wouldn't keep bothering me. But because I'm in first class and they're trying to spoil you, I got to fucking, she has to fucking have him keep tapping me on the shoulder to ask me questions. And when I got those fucking headphones off, that's his little window to say some fucking nonsense to me. So I go, you know what? I was pretty much done with my work. I go, I'm just going to go to sleep the rest of the flight. Because if I'm out cold, there's no way they're going to wake me up. I'm going to be out by the window, just fucking leaning on the window. I'm going to sleep. Because I can't take this anymore. I'd be out of my mind if I had to fucking talk to this guy for an hour and 45 minutes after what he just said, that he had to give me a joke. And the joke that he gave me. So, I fucking conk out sleeping. It's about 15 minutes left in the flight. I have my laptop in that fucking the seat compartment in front of me. Now, with the laptops, I know, like, if you sit in the emergency exit aisle row, they don't like them hanging in those pockets there because if, there's an emergency, people have to get by. And they don't want shit in the way, stacked in the way where people might, I get it. Meanwhile, you got 75 pamphlets in there of just nonsense that nobody fucking looks at. How to put a seatbelt on. You know what I mean? All this other bullshit in there. You got no problem with that stuffed in there. Fucking magazines where where you make money off the shit that you sell in there, like that Sharper Image garbage. Your United magazine. You got no problem with that shit. All right, so anyways, emergency exit aisle row, I get it. You don't put it in there. They make a big fuss about it. I'm in the second row in first class. There's no emergency exit row. I'm fucking sleeping. I'm out. 15 minutes left in the flight. Another tap on the shoulder. This time it's from another flight attendant. She does it herself, leans over and is tap. I fucking wake up out of a dead sleep. I go, what's going on? She goes, we're preparing for landing. You cannot leave that laptop there. You have to put it above in the overhead compartment. I go, what are you talking about? I go, it's right here. She goes, you cannot leave that there for landing. I go, I'm not in the emergency exit aisle row. She goes, are you going to argue with me? I'm in a fucking daze right now. She goes, you cannot put it under the seat. It needs to be in a bag. So you're not even allowed to put it under the seat like that. Just in its sleeve, the fucking laptop sleeve. I'm like, I go, why? I can't even put it under the seat. She goes, no. I go, I'll hold it in my lap. You can't hold it in your lap either. Sir, I'm not leaving until you put it in the overhead compartment or you put it in a bag under your seat secured. I'm like, you got to be kidding me. This is a joke, right? She goes, this isn't a joke. So the guy goes, dude, the guy next to me, mister, I got to give you a joke. He goes, dude, I got it. Here, give me a laptop. Because he had a little bag, a little fucking knapsack. He takes my laptop and shoves it in his bag and puts it under the seat in front of him. He's like, man, I got it. He did me a favor because I wasn't going to get it on my seat to put my laptop up there. There's no fucking way. I'm like, yeah. So now he does me that favor. I'm his fucking bitch for the next 15 minutes. For the last 15 minutes of his flight, now I owe this motherfucker. Because he did do me a favor. I'm like, oh shit, now I can't put my headphones back on. You know what I mean? And just ignore this guy. So now I just said, all right, before he even starts with more of his bullshit, I just gonna keep talking because I know he knows the window's there, and I took the headphones off. So I'm just like, where did they come up with this? Why can't you do it? What I'm just going on and on about it. I'm bitching about it to him. He's like, yeah, man, whatever. I never heard that one either. And then there's silence. I'm like, all right, please. I'm looking out the fucking window, and I see that, I can't even see any of the ground, so I know we're still 15 minutes out at least. I'm like, you got to be fucking kidding me, please. This is going to be torture. So then he goes, so, I know you do stand up, right? You do comedy. I'm like, yeah, uh-huh. Oh, so you coming here to town for this? I'm like, yeah, uh-huh. Yeah. He's like, He goes, so do you have to do like radio? Like go on the radio to promote it when you get to town? Like, how does that work? Okay. Now, going back to the original phone conversation, I'm talking about a DJ on the phone about doing his show in that market there. He hears that, obviously, and he knows. So then he comes back when he starts bringing up the radio. Like, why would a guy in a fucking on a plane ask me if I'm going to do radio when I get to town? Like, nobody knows that shit. You just drive and there's a comedian on? Yeah, maybe I'll go see him. He sounds funny. So I go, I don't know. He goes, yeah, there's one guy, on the rock station. You should really, go on. He's really big. And meanwhile, I was mentioning his name and mentioning the station. So he heard it on the conversation. He knew who I was right from the beginning. So he's bringing the guy's name up to make a connection. I'm like, I know what this guy's doing again. Why doesn't he just come out and fucking say it? So I'm like, yeah, I don't know. I'm not sure. I'm not sure what radio station I'll go on. I don't even know until I get there. So he's like, oh, okay, all right. I thought maybe they'd let you know in advance. I'm like, no, they don't. He goes, can I ask you something? I go, ugh. I go, yeah. What's up? He goes, you got any free tickets for this weekend? He says it just like that. I got, nah. I really don't. I'm not even sure how this stuff works. This is like the first time I'm doing a club, so I don't know how that works. Nah, I don't have any free tickets. Like, oh, okay. And I'm just looking straight ahead. I'm like, this is Planes, Trains, and Automobiles. If you saw that movie, I'm sitting next to John Candy, and I'm Steve Martin. I'm like, you got to be fucking kidding me. And I know there's at least 10 minutes left in the flight. I'm like, and I don't want to put the headphones back on. So now he's just reaching. He's got nothing. But he knows that he can talk to me. And this goes back to the fucking roadie from Motorhead coming in the room and saying to Lemmy the first time, hey, the weather's really nice out there. And Lemmy said, if you have nothing interesting to say, don't say it. This is the next thing he says. So, did I send somebody to pick you up when you get to the airport? You gotta be fucking kidding me. And you know what? I was so close to just going, no, actually, we hitchhike. I just put my thumb out and I just hope for a ride. No, I didn't. You know what? Actually, I didn't even think about that. I wasn't even, you know what? Holy shit. Thanks for bringing that up. I don't even know how the fuck I'm going to get from the airport once I land. For what reason does he need to say that? So somebody pick you up from the airport? Now I know he's at the point where he's got nothing. He's just trying to make conversation, and that's what fucking drives me nuts. If you got nothing to say, just keep your fucking mouth shut. You don't have to keep the conversation going. No one's asking. Quiet. So when he said, yeah, so some pig, I go, yeah, I got a ride. I just said that, yeah, I got a ride. And that's it. I'm like, you gotta be fucking kidding me. Holy shit, I'm in a fucking nightmare. So then he waits about a minute, and I know he's waiting, and he's waiting. He's trying to think of something else, and he's trying to something else, and he's like, so, can I ask you one more question? I'm like, yeah, what's up? Like, how do you come up with material? Do you like write your own stuff, or do you like just thumb through a newspaper every morning? Like, how does that process work? Ugh. I'm like, you got to be fucking kidding me. And it's all because that fucking flight attendant, Mr. Florentine, would you like something to drink? And his head almost came off, and now I'm dealing with, how does the process work? Do you thumb through the newspaper and write your own material? Is somebody picking you up from the airport? You got to be fucking kidding me. So, nah, I write this stuff. That's it. I just said it like that, just like that. Yeah, nah, I just write the stuff. Now I want to punch this guy in the face. I'm just thinking of fucking Steve Martin and John Candy on that plane and him bugging the shit out of him. I'm like, this is the fucking John Candy. He is John Candy. Now the plane lands. As soon as it lands, he hands me a business card. He goes, here, man. Here's a card. Here's my business card. Now, it wasn't even like he fixes computers, or if you ever need a fucking lawyer, or you're in, or any of that shit, you need some legal advice, like something like that. People do that before, Hey, man, I'm a cop. If you're ever in town and you need, if you run into a problem, here's my card. Something like that. Even that's a little silly, but like, all right, cool, thanks. Nothing. I didn't even read the card. I don't even know what the fuck. But he didn't say what he did. So why even give me the card? What I'm gonna call you? We're gonna fucking hang out? You don't get the hint that I'm fucking aggravated? I'm giving you one-word answers? You're John Candy. You have no idea. You have no self-awareness at all. Here's my card. Okay. All right, thanks. And I take the card. Okay, thanks. I said that. He hands me my laptop back. And I'm just waiting for that fucking door to get open so I can get off this plane. I'm waiting. And I'm waiting. And then he hits me up with this one. And it is so brutal that I'm not even going to play a song at the end because it's just going to go, the podcast is just going to end. That's the way it should. There shouldn't be any song to follow what he says next. He knows he's got one more shot at me because I can't move. I'm on the inside, he's on the outside, so he's got one more shot to hit me with. And he goes, hey, man, can I say something? He goes, I want to give you one more joke. And I'm like, what? He goes, no, I just want to give you one more joke. I'm like, okay, you sure? Because I got nowhere to go. And I'm like, I'm going to be off this plane in fucking 30 seconds and I'm never going to see this motherfucker again. He goes, and he's smiling. He's taking his time. He has this big grin on his face. He's like, I had fun sleeping with you. And I go, what do you mean? What are you talking about? I had fun. He goes, no, because you were asleep for a little while, and I actually fell asleep a little while too. So I'm just saying I had fun sleeping with you. I just wanted to give you that one too.